To a non-Fortnite player, every single time Fortnite's in the news, it's always because of some crazy collaboration that they pull off. Fortnite is possibly the biggest crossover in all of media, really. We have tons of video game characters, movie characters, TV shows. There's so many characters that are in Fortnite that simply just wouldn't work in other games. Never thought I would see the day where I would see a bigger collaboration than Smash Bros. Ultimate, but here we are. And with so many collabs in the game, there's bound to be some ones that are just perfection. So in today's video, I want to go over the best Fortnite collabs in my personal opinion. I think these collabs added a lot to the game or the season that they were introduced in, or they came with some pretty cool skins, or just in general how much I like them. With that being said, let's get into the first one. This is by far the biggest one on the list because, well, it's a whole season, but I wanted to throw this on there because this is my favorite season of Chapter 2, and I'm not even really a Marvel fan. I genuinely think it just fell off after Endgame, and I haven't really gone to see any other Marvel movie other than Spider-Man No Way Home. But still, overall, this season was really good. There were so many cool POIs like Doom's Domain, Stark Industries, the little Wolverine POI. You also had a bunch of cool mythics, Thor's hammer, Iron Man's unibeam, Groot's little ball thing, Wolverine claws. It was just so cool to run around and play as your favorite Marvel characters with their powers. Not to mention that the live event was super good. It's probably my second favorite event right behind Travis. Also, most of the time when collabs come to the game, they don't really fit into the storyline and they just kind of happen. But during this season, it actually sort of fit into the storyline. Granted, it did feel a bit like shoved in there, like, oh, we're just going to have the Marvel characters come to the island because Galactus is coming. But, like, why is Galactus coming in the first place? Oh, to get the 0 point, like every single other villain in the storyline. The storyline part did feel a bit rushed, but hey, at least they tried to integrate it into the storyline rather than, you know, like Goku. But you know what, speaking of which, back in Chapter 3, Season 3, we had a Dragon Ball collaboration where they added Goku, Vegeta, Bulma, and Beerus? I'm sorry if I butchered that name, I never watched Dragon Ball. Now, when this event first came out, I was super hyped for it because Goku was my dream character to be added to Fortnite, and I never even watched the anime. I just wanted him in the game because it would be so funny. Like, come on, it's Goku in Fortnite, that's hilarious. But not only was it funny to see Goku hit the griddy on Darth Vader's dead body, but it was also cool because they brought two new mythics to the game, the Nimbus Cloud and the Kamehameha. Or is it the Kamehameha, the Kamiyamama? I don't know how to pronounce it. Again, I've never watched Dragon Ball. But these mythics were really cool. Nimbus Cloud was pretty good for mobility, and the Kamehameha was pretty good for fights. And I would say it wasn't too overpowered like a lot of people say. Yeah, it was a giant laser that just came down from the sky. But you only had 3 uses, and it was kind of hard to control. Like, it didn't move too fast. But again, I can see why people didn't like it, because it was just a giant laser that blasted down from the sky. But at the same time, this was the first time that we got a full mini pass, so that kind of introduced the theme for collabs going forward. Yeah, overall, the event was pretty cool. I liked it a lot. Next, let's move on to another anime. My brother told me how to taste the bag. Back in my Chapter 4 video, I hated on the JiuJitsu Kaizen collab, but looking back on it, it was actually pretty fun. We had a pretty good mini pass, even though I didn't really get it, it was still pretty cool. The gliders kind of fire. But we also got 2 mythics, the Hollow Purple and the Straw Doll technique. Straw Doll was pretty cool, and so was Hollow Purple. I didn't really use them that much, but they were still really cool to have in the game when they did come out. They weren't super broken either. Overall, this was a pretty cool update. I did like it. Moving on to the next one, that's not necessarily an anime, but it is a cartoon. How could you possibly say that? This update completely ruined Season 2, as they completely removed all the Greek mythology mythics. Shut up! Shut up! This update was so much fun. Airbending was a lot of fun to use. Waterbending, I will admit, was kind of broken. Firebending was pretty cool and I think it was kind of overhated. And earthbending was just, I don't know, it was just earthbending. We also got some fire skins. We got Aang, Katara, Toph, and Zuko, which is really cool. There was also a free mini pass that you could use to get Aang. I mean, you had to pay to get Aang, but there was a free section of the mini pass. You could also get the Appa glider, which was pretty cool. Overall, I think this was a really, really good update. I don't know why people hate it so much, simply because they removed the Greek mythology mythics. And I can understand your frustration with that, but at the same time, I feel like if they did stay in the game with the Avatar mythics, everyone would be complaining that there were too many mythics in the game. But also, when the Greek mythology mythics ended up coming back, I ended up appreciating them more. I feel like if they just stayed in the game for the entire season, they would eventually get boring and no one would end up using them towards the end of the season. But because Epic took them out and then replaced them with the Avatar mythics, when they came back, everyone wanted to use them again because they were not necessarily new, but they've been gone for like 3 weeks, so they want them back. I might be biased because I am a huge fan of the TV show, but at the same time, I feel like the hate for this collab is a way, over-exaggerated. Okay, next up, let's talk about... There's so many Star Wars collabs in the game, but there's 2 that I want to give. The Chapter 4 and the Chapter 5 one. The Chapters 2 and 3s were basically the exact same Star Wars events with nothing changed about them too much, but the Chapter 4 one just completely changed what we did. We got a new clone blaster rifle that was pretty fun to use, but of course we got force powers. The force powers are so much fun to use. There was force pull, force push, and then force throw, and I personally like force throw the most. I thought it was really cool, but at the same time, this was our first official mini pass. We could get 5 skins, which was pretty crazy if you really think about it. Not to mention that one of the skins was free, so if you wanted to, you and your boys could just grind on Fortnite for a while, and then you could have a full Clone Trooper squad. We also got Anakin and Padme, which was pretty cool. Now, we didn't get any map changes, which did kinda suck, but halfway through the event, Darth Vader did come onto the island and let us get his lightsaber, which it was a lightsaber. You might be wondering, why am I bringing up the Chapter 5 one? That one was super basic. And yes, it was, but I did want to give it an honorable mention because of LEGO. Now, LEGO isn't Battle Royale, obviously, but the LEGO update was really, really good. You got a sort of mini live event when you booted up the game. You got this whole new mechanic of rebel bases and imperial bases. You could get lightsabers, blaster rifles. You could upgrade your village, and you could invite Star Wars characters to live there. I just think overall this was a really, really good event. But again, it's just getting an honorable mention because it was pretty basic in Battle Royale. Okay, next up, let's talk about... Now, I didn't grow up with TMNT when I was a kid, but this event was super, super good. The mythics that you could find across the map and the supply drops were really cool. The little sewer POI that they added was pretty cool. The skins that they added were super clean. I really liked the designs of the turtles especially. The mini pass was pretty tight. I really like Super Shredder and the normal Shredder design. One thing I don't understand about this event is they added the weapons of the turtles as pickaxes, but also as weapons. So, Epic... Where's my lightsaber pickaxe? But there you have it. That's, in my opinion, some of the best collabs in Fortnite. I feel like if Fortnite is going to do more collabs, which they 100% are, they should look at these collabs for reference and see why people like them so much. Just make it so that way it changes up the gameplay, and don't make it so that way it just feels super forced when the collabs are in the game. Don't just make it so that way, here's Marvel skin number 2784. We want mythics in the game that will help change up the gameplay. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say in this video. We have a Pirates of the Caribbean collab coming up, so maybe this will end up being on the list. Maybe it will end up being one of the worst collabs of the season. Who knows? But with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.